We start the evening with the Nightside Crime Watch. New information out tonight in last week's deadly police shooting in North Spokane. We now know the name of the officer who shot and killed 35-year-old David Novak. The Spokane Police Department says Officer Brandon Rankin is on paid administrative leave as investigators look into that shooting. A neighbor called 911 January 7th saying Novak was shooting a gun at him. However, a gun wasn't found at the scene. We're also hearing from one of Novak's relatives for the first time. His uncle says the family is still in disbelief and demanding more answers from police. In a story you'll only see on Nightside, Kyle Simchuk sat down with Novak's uncle this evening. Kyle, he talked to his nephew just a few hours before the shooting.
David's uncle says none of what happened makes sense to him. His nephew didn't own a gun, but he did have a metal baseball bat, which he used to hit his own truck with. Based on what we've heard on police recordings, it appears officers mistook that sound and the metal bat for a gun.
We're not asking for the world here. Tell us what happened.
As police look into what occurred outside this home near 600 West Montgomery, Thomas Novak is looking to his family for support.
My family were tough.
His brother is battling stage 3 cancer and had to bury his 35-year-old son this weekend.
David never thought that anyone really cared very much about him, and he was so wrong.
None of what happened January 7th adds up for Novak or the rest of his family.
Said that David had been shot by the police, and I didn't know what to say.
That night, a neighbor called 911 saying David was shooting at him and yelling racial slurs, even claiming to be a member of the KKK. Novak insists his nephew was not a racist, but he could be a hothead at times, and alcohol didn't help.
Yeah, maybe he was a little bit drunk. Okay, so does that justify him being shot and killed by the police department? Absolutely not. David did not own a gun. David did not possess a gun.
But at least one officer on scene was convinced otherwise.
He fired a shot for sure. I saw smoke over by the house.
He had a baseball bat. He was striking his own truck.
Which Novak says could sound like a gunshot. But it doesn't erase the heartbreak and still leaves many unanswered questions for his family.
It just doesn't add up at all.
And Novak says David's parents have started talking to lawyers. Once the shooting investigation wraps up, details will be passed along to the county prosecutor's office, which will determine if the shooting was justified. Live in studio tonight, Kyle Simchuk, KXLY 4 Nightside.
Thank you.